Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2026 LMFL playoffs. I am once again your host and the commissioner of the LMFL, AZ Larlar, and guess what? Tonight is another elimination game, and it's a huge one. Kickoff here, Max getting the ball first. Debo Samuel will get this ball, and he's gonna run toward the 27-yard line. I'm gonna explain a few things, but I am of course not alone. We got Brandon. What's up, man? Once again.
Hey man, I can't believe this game is in the lower bracket. You got
I
literally two
know.
heavyweights, bro, facing
I
off each other.
know.
Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels at Roquan. We didn't even get a chance to speak about him. First play of the game, but Lawler, man, I'm excited, man. How's it going with in your expectations for this game, bro?
It's gonna be a very interesting one because remember, anyone who probably doesn't know what in the world the chances are as we have another run that doesn't really go anywhere. But this game is an elimination game. This game determines who advances over to the next round of the lower bracket and will face Andrew next week. The loser is eliminated.
Oh man, and as for speaking, Jaden Daniels is going to his right here. Roquan
Ooh.
gets him. No, it's not. It's Kyle Van Noy and Larlar. As you were talking about this, with this game being an elimination game, it is crazy because you had RBM basically being the number one seed, and you got Max, the former LMFL champion, and one of them's not going to go forward, which is just insane to me. But that just shows
Yeah.
how good this league is, as his punt return doesn't go anywhere here. But one thing I'm looking forward to this game, Larlar, is literally the QB competition between Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson. Both really good dual threat QBs, can pass, can run. I'm curious to see how RBM and Max is going to do it here. But Larlar, as we're talking about RBM right now, what's one thing you're looking forward in this Ravens offense?
Oh my
As Derrick
God.
Henry tries to leave over somebody. But what are you looking forward in the Wackos offense that needs to be done if he can win this game and pull it off?
Well, the thing is with RBM, he lost a close one against Mac, who will be facing Neptune in the upper final next Thursday. So I think it's a matter of just trying to make sure that you continue this offensive prowess that the Baltimore Ravens are capable of. But it's definitely a matter on defense. But then again, everybody on defense needs to be improved as Bateman gets the first down to midfield. And
Yeah, I like that answer, man. Yeah.
yeah, and in regards to Max, he faced off against Marcello last week and eliminated him. So again, I think what's the craziest part is that, again, as you mentioned, both of these teams, both of these competitors, heavyweights in the LMFL, number 1 versus number 3 seed, and someone's about to get eliminated by going 5th, 6th, which is crazy as Henry keeps going for a first down.
And you're right about that too, man. It's like, we've seen time and time in the LMFL where we've seen upsets, we've seen heavyweight matchups, and we've seen how close it was. I mean, shoot, the other night we saw how close it was between RBM and Mac.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to see here is how can Max utilize his defense with Bobby Wagner, with Payne, with all these guys in the backfield, Lattimore. Can he use that, Frankie Louisville and other guys, can he use these guys to take advantage of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and these offensive playmakers that's been going on forward with the season? But Larlar, do you think this will be a high-scoring game, or do you actually expect it to be low-scoring?
It's tough to say because I feel like as Jackson takes a snap, he's going to get pressure here and doesn't really go anywhere. 3rd and 10 now. The last time these two faced off against each other was during, I want to say week 2 or something like that. I'm going to go check the spreadsheet really quick just to confirm that. But yeah, it was week 2. So over 2 months ago. So, with the way everyone plays nowadays, it's definitely a little bit different and everyone has settled in. But 3rd down and 10 here, need to get something here, and Hopkins will get it. First down and then some with a beautiful block from Derrick Henry to the 4-yard line. And RBM knocking on the door for a score here, but as I mentioned, the last time these two played, again, early April, 2 months ago, and that game ended in 29-28. And the only reason, as Jackson takes a snap, he's not going to get anywhere here with Andrews But, the main reason as to why it was 29-28 was because Max scored a touchdown to potentially tie it up and potentially send it to overtime, but he went for 2 points in there instead. But he couldn't convert the 2 points. That's how quick and simple things are as Zay goes to the 1. Or that's how close things are between these two. But then again, I feel like the whole matchups here with RBM and Max and Neptune, it can get super, super close. So
Yeah, it's kind of like a four-headed horse race, and if you're talking about it there, man. But now it's 3rd and goal, ball on the 1-yard line. Almost a fake snap, another one, but Lamar doesn't
gonna
get
get
in there.
Now-
4th and goal here.
if you remember,
Larlar.
Brandon, that was stopped there as Mac couldn't get in there with Jared Goff last game. So
Very true.
Lamar
And when he
Jackson,
did, the call was overturned. So
correct.
we've been seeing this late in the season. We've been seeing a lot of QB sneaks whenever it's 4th and goal or even 4th and inches, like anywhere on the field. But now we see RBM in shotgun formation, 4th and goal. Let's see what the play call is. Lamar Jackson throws his Flowers, and he doesn't get it in. Doesn't get it in. Great stop by Max there. Turnover on downs, but now Larlar, Max got to get out of the end zone so he doesn't afford a safety.
Wow, what a play there from Max. But also, it kind of just shows how close these two are because, oh my God, like, they've just gotten so close here now. Oh my goodness.
And Krosky Merritt does get out. Oh, just by no, he doesn't even get a yard. But here's the thing, right? If it was the Ravens, you're on the 1-yard line. You got Derrick Henry built like a linebacker that can easily get out and break tackles. Krosky Merritt, he's not that big of a guy. He's more of a shifty dude that can get out in space. But Jaden Daniels will drop back the pass, give it to who else? The best receiver, Terry McLaurin. That's one thing we need to talk about Larlar this season is the Commanders, they also got guys on that offensive side. Obviously, Jaden Daniels, Krosky Merritt, but Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. They got guys that can push down this field. So I'm really looking forward to see how they can do against this great Baltimore defense. As you see there, Bates could have handed off to the ball there. I think this matchup right here is more intriguing. RBM's defense versus Max's offense. You got a high-scoring offense versus a kind of like a weight-stopper defense there. Do you see really a heavy header there? Oh, yeah, 4th and 3. And Zach Ertz does get it.
Okay.
He does get it. Now it's 1st down, Larlar. Do you kind of see who has like a little bit of an edge when it comes to this side of the ball?
Yeah, you kind of have to because I think at this point everyone needs to settle in here, try to see what things may work, what things may not work. Obviously, the last drive for Max ended in a 3-and-out, but thing is though, with this offense,
Merritt, wide open space,
crazy such as this. And to the
43-yard line. Very, very true. And one thing I've been seeing here late in the season too is Max has been really utilizing the run game a little bit. Krosky Merritt, he is a rookie, so one of those guys that trying to get his foot a little bit in the league a little bit still, but I do think he does have that punch to him, which is good. But Jaden Daniels throws to Brown, Noah Brown there, former Cowboy. 2nd and 5.
You gotta see where things are at, but as we mentioned right now, no score at the moment.
No, it's very, very patient from both teams.
Yeah, very, very patient, but that's kind of what you want to see. 1st down though here for Krosky Merritt and keeps going.
He does get down. I thought it was a fumble a little bit there, but he does get down there. And I think because we've seen so far in the playoffs a lot of just straight up going down the field, just get points on the board already. And as we see Krosky Merritt get a 1st down and more, I kind of like this advantage for both teams here. I mean, kind of just playing it out. They, like you said, Larlar, they haven't played each other since week 2. So obviously from then, there's been a lot of play styles that have changed. So I think these guys are just trying to feel like each other's play calls and everything. And as we approach, honestly, the end of the very first quarter here, Jaden Daniels drives back the pass, throws to his right. But yeah, Larlar, I mean, I honestly think with how quick this first quarter is already ending, I kind of like the approach, how both teams are kind of taking their time. 2nd and 2.
Second and
Jay
2.
Daniels gives it to Krosky Merritt for the first down.
This drive has been incredible so far. We started at the 1, by the way.
Yeah, and RBM also had a great drive. So
Yeah.
both teams are really utilizing, they're not throwing deep shots. They're not taking chances. Will Max get it off here?
now.
Yes, he does. 2, Zach Ertz, but that'll be the end of the first quarter. No score, Larlar.
Jeez, no score again. It's literally
0-0.
This literally happened in the game between Black Souls and Andrew in the last round there.
But then you saw how quickly the second half just exploded, right? So I'm not surprised if we see that happening here. 2nd and 3.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if a score happened right this play, right here.
Right. Gets it to Rodriguez, third running back, but gets stopped there. 3rd and 4. RBM's defense is really known for a great rushing defense, right? You can't. It's really hard to stop when you have the quarterback of the defense, Roquan Smith, right there. And also great guys there, too. But it's 3rd and 4. Jaden Daniels rolls to his right. He is getting chased. He doesn't really see anybody open, so he throws out of bounds there. 4th and 4. Larlar, at this point, do you go for it or do you go for a field goal?
It's tough to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if Max goes for this. But, at this point, remember, we're already in the second quarter. You got to make sure that things go your way. But here we are.
And Jaden Daniels will drive back the pass. Gets it off the bait for the first touchdown of the game. And just like that, Max is first on the board here. Pretty risky, Larlar, but he didn't get done.
Yeah, he got it done. 7-0 for the Baltimore Black Widows. So let's see now how RBM responds. Remember, last time he went down this field, it was fairly quick, but again, as mentioned, turnover on downs.
Ollie, he had a fumble last game. He holds onto the ball this time around. And this is one thing we haven't talked about, Larlar, turnovers. If this game is tight, turnovers is literally what's going to make and break this game. Because you saw that game with Mac and RBM, how the turnovers literally determined the game. So
yeah. True.
Derrick Henry has fumbled a couple times this season, so he's got to hold on to the ball, which he does here for the first down. Yes. Now, Larlar, do you kind of trust this Commanders defense? Because there's been times where the secondary has struggled a little bit if we do see deep shots down the field.
It's definitely one of the weaker points about Max's team this season. But it's Max. He's probably one of the more... if anything, he is the best adaptable in terms of defense in the LMFL.
Very true. Play action pass. Get it to Likely.
Oh, interesting.
Not really much there. 2nd and 7. And yeah, I kind of do agree with that too. We're still seeing a patient drive here from RBM. And honestly, Larlar, really the only game this season in the playoffs that we've seen teams take deep shots was Black Souls versus Andrew. We've been seeing a lot of deep shots down the field. Man, so we see the Zay Flowers here. But we haven't really seen it much from other teams. They've been high scoring, but we haven't really been seeing full-on go routes down the field to, we see a couple double passes, but a lot of them don't really work. So I'm curious to see what is going to be here as we see a 5-wide receiver set. Throws it up the middle to Zay Flowers. 2nd and 1 here, Larlar.
Yeah, I think it just comes with the risk of playing this game because obviously one of the biggest hurdles of Madden in of itself is just, you take the deep shots, but you feel as though that it's just going to get picked off almost every single time. So you kind of have to go with potentially that as Wester first down.
And one thing, I don't know if you noticed, Larlar, you see how far back the corners are playing off the ball. They're about 10 to 15 yards, and that's how RBM is kind of getting, these middle of the field open routes to keep on advancing down the field. And Lamar Jackson gives it to Henry, gets it for another first down here. And I'm kind of liking this play style from the Ravens. A little bit of runs, a little bit of passes, and it's kind of working out a little bit.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is definitely the best weapon RBM's got here. And we saw that against the game with Max. So we'll just have to see what happens here with Derrick Henry, because look, he's glowing already.
But that
That
screen
time not going
pass
to go anywhere.
was not going to go anywhere. That's right. As Payne, the defensive tackle, gets out there and tackles Henry. I like that.
Now,
Second and 11.
Something to keep in mind of is the fact that this game is going by very quick already. We're already
Very quick.
under 6 minutes to go in the first half already.
But
And
that's how you
so,
see the patience level, right?
yeah, there's a patience to this, but one of the main reasons as to why I brought down the level here, as Andrews will get the first at least here,
First and goal.
is for folks to start, going at it in terms of these. Well, we want to see like a fast-paced kind of style here from folks. So, definitely being patient is good, but you just gotta see.
And that comes with a price to pay in the second half. If it's still close, then you got to go, right? As a QB counter, a great QB counter as Lamar Jackson gets lit up in the end zone for the touchdown. I like that play call.
Yeah,
utilizing Lamar Jackson's legs, and you get it for 6.
Yeah, so 2 straight drives of patience from both Max and RBM, and now with 5.5 left to go, now we have to start talking once again about timeouts being taken. You got to make sure that whatever happens, you want to make sure you manage the time correctly here. Debo will run this out. Can't really see what's going on because it's blagging, but we're at the 22.
And and I'm glad you talked about time management, right? Because at this point in the game, it's still early. It's still early in the game. Jaden Daniels will drop at the pass, throw it up the middle as we see what happens. And Zach Ertz does not catch the ball, 2nd and 10. But yeah, you're right, because towards the end of the game, that's when it's really going to happen if this game is still close, right? Who can use the time management well? And with honestly, RBM and Max are really good at utilizing their timeout. So curious to see who's going to have the upper end there. Jaden Daniels drops the ball. Deebo Samuel, and who else is on him? Roquan Smith.
Another incompletion.
3rd and 10.
So yeah, 3rd and 10 here now at the 22. But again, Max is like so lethal when it comes down to 3rd downs and 4th downs. Daniel's looking.
Oh, gets hit, but Noah Brown catches it. Not enough. 4th and 5. Now this is going to be risky. You're on your own 25. We know what Max, and we know Max is a risk taker. One of the guys in the league that doesn't care what yard line you're on. He's more than likely going to go for it if he has momentum. Larlar, do you kind of agree if he does go for it here, which he will?
I'm not surprised.
4th and 5.
Here we go.
Jaden Daniels drives back to pass, throws on the middle to Noah Brown again, but gets lit up by one of the best safeties in the league, Kyle Hamilton. I like it there. 1st and 10, ball to 41. And again, Larlar, we're seeing another patient drive by both teams.
Oh, cross Merit doesn't really go anywhere that time. 2nd and 10.
And, we haven't seen a lot of, from both of these teams, a lot of audibles, right? A lot of play calls that's, getting changed on the line. I think both of these competitors are kind of confident with the initial plays that they're calling because they kind of already know how the defense is going to go. As we see Jaden Daniels rolls to his right and gets tackled out of bounds by Kyle Van Noy, 3rd and 8.
PR gain only, so going to set up another 3rd down where, again, you really need something going here at least.
Right. You see the Baltimore Ravens two-eye safety up top, and it's deflected at the line. How about that? Okay. Now it's 4th and 8 by Jones. Deflection there is 4th and 8. So you're near midfield. You got a little over 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Knowing Max, he's more than likely going to go for it again. 5 wide out here.
Yeah, 4th and 8. He's going to have to go
for this. Daniels goes out the middle to Zach Ertz, and he gets it barely for the 1st and 10. And honestly, Larlar, one thing I'm noticing, both RBM and Max, they're really using the middle of the field as their advantage. Because as you look here, you see how the corners are basically where the safeties are on the backfield. That means the middle of the field is going to get wide open. Krosky
Oh.
Barrett, but Roquan Smith is just a beast, bro. All season long, takes him down, 2nd and 9.
Now we're already getting closer to 2-minute warning. So this getting a little spicy here as Daniels is
Daniels
looking.
up the middle, Terry McLaurin.
Oh boy.
1st and 10. And here's the thing, if Max can utilize that time to the 2-minute warning and utilize it to the point where it's run down where RBM can't get it, and he does get points on the board, that's going to be huge. First and 10 after the 2-minute warning here. Jay Daniels gets across. He but gets lit up at the line.
Now that's a good play there from RBM, but right now we're under 2 minutes to go. So let's see how time management for both these competitors works out, because it's all going to matter here. This is definitely by far, I feel as though one of the quickest games we've had so far in the LMFL this season.
But both, but as we see a screen pass across Mary and a great block, Kyle Van Noy doesn't get to him, but Kyle Hamilton will. But honestly, Larlar, both RBM and Max are playing great offensive styles. Even though this game is going by quick, they're really being patient. They're not letting kind of like, a lot of pressure get to them. But one thing I'm expecting more from both teams is pressure to the quarterback. I feel like when you have dual threat quarterbacks as in Daniels and Lamar, it's hard to stop them as we see Zach Ertz get the pass, but it's hard to stop, that. And Max will take the first timeout of the quarter. And now it's 1st and 10, ball to 18 in the red zone now. Jay Daniels, 1st and 10, ball to 18. Gets it to Merritt and lit him on the line again.
And a good stop there from RBM here. 2-yard loss. But clock will continue to run here with a minute to go.
Right. I think Max is trying to utilize his time, but not make sure he gets run out too much. Dan Daniels has wide open space on the right. Lets the receiver use him as a block. And he does score for the touchdown with using the legs of Jaden Daniels, which is huge to end the quarter before we get to the second half here.
All right. Good start there from Max, and now RBM will have a chance to try and get something. 53 seconds, 3 timeouts. Not impossible. But
We've seen RBM do it.
Yes. You got to do a 2-minute drill now at this point.
Great field position from Ollie here. Great field position. Ball to 39. That's going to be huge. Only waste 7 seconds off the clock. 6 seconds off the clock, rather. And we've seen time and time again from RBM that he gets down the field. But one of these guys I really want to see is Bobby Wagner. I really want to see him try to utilize and try to stop and try to maybe spy on Lamar so he doesn't get out of arm's reach here. But this 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson drops back the pass, rolls to his wide open space here. Reeves can't get to him. Louisville can't get to him.
Wow. Yeah, good decision
now already
to keep
in
the
his
ball
own territory. Yeah.
So, already now in Max's territory here to get closer to field goal range if he wants to take that. But because of how critical these possessions can be, especially in this stage of the playoffs. Jackson.
Oh, that's risky to Andrews. He does catch it. But timeout called by RBM. Good timeout there.
And Max was getting to the pressure there, and you can tell that the pressure on the offensive line is starting to get here. So,
and that's one of the struggles of this all year long is the guards are letting a lot of these guys through, and that makes RBM having to run a lot more. This time, a good defensive pressure there, but Derrick Henry does get the first down at least. Now we're below 30 seconds. Another timeout called by RBM. Again, utilizing patience rather than no huddles. It can be good for a certain while, Larlar, but sometimes you got to go,
Yep. All right, 30 seconds to go. 1 timeout remaining for
Jet sweep.
RBM and okay. I go for that and
Now, yeah,
no
I
huddle here.
expected the no huddle there. Expected that because he kind of utilized that last timeout a
No,
little bit
he's
there.
gonna
He's
stop
gonna
the clock.
spike it. Yep. There you go, ball. 3rd and 6 though.
Yeah, that makes sense. 17 now seconds to go. So he probably has like 1 or 2 plays here to try and launch for a potential touchdown, of course, but
He
definitely
does, but
in field goal
yes.
range, so he doesn't
But the
really.
worst thing you don't want to do, Larlar, is a pick 6, man. We've seen it
Yeah,
before.
exactly. Because that just immediately turns it in of itself.
Wide
Zay is just
open,
wide
Zay
open.
Flowers.
All right, last
Last
timeout
timeout
called here.
Now this is where we need to see how can RBM utilize this time because now we got no timeouts, right? Will he
Yep.
utilize out of bounds as his friend here? Will he try to run some fakes? What will he do? And what will Max do to make sure he doesn't get fooled? 1st and goal, ball to 9, 11 seconds left. Lamar throws it to Andrews, wide open
Oh,
to the right. Touchdown! The tight end. Larlar, we've seen that play call a lot of times this playoffs, and it worked out perfectly for RBM there.
and now it is 14 all with 7 seconds to go. Max, of course, has 7 seconds to work out here, but
Not much you can do. I mean, you can try a Hail Mary, but the good thing for Max is that
the clock is going to get ran over here.
right, the clock is just gonna like get run down.
Ooh.
So 3 seconds left. You can either just run to the locker room, or if you want to try to throw a Hail Mary and pray to the gods, I mean, and now he's not. You can see he's in victory formation, also known as just let's just take it to the locker room. So
Fair enough.
Larlar, halftime, 14-14.
Very good game here so far. Definitely an NFL-ass game, as we like to call it. But now RBM is going to be getting this ball first. So let's see what happens here on the first drive of the second half. And he's going to start at the 21. Remember, this game is now in its final half where we are going to figure out who advances next to play Andrew next week in the 3rd round of the lower bracket. The loser of this game is going to be eliminated from championship contention. And Derrick Henry only goes for 1 yard.
And that's why Larlar RBM scoring on that last drive before the half was huge. He gets the ball back.
It was. Yeah.
And now he can take advantage of trying to take it over the lead, right? So, and he can lead for the first time tonight. So, one thing I'm expecting in this second half, I wouldn't be surprised if we still see the patience levels like here now, but it's gonna rack up at some point, you know.
Oh, Bateman
as we
first
see
down.
Bateman breaks 1 tackle. That goes off there. Now, Larlar, is there any adjustments you kind of want to see from either side on the second half, or you guys just let the ball roll a little bit?
I can definitely see this game starting to pick up the pace here slightly here a little bit. Derrick Henry only goes for 4 yards. But
yeah, kind of like what we expected, Larlar. You know, we're not seeing a lot of deep shots. We're not seeing, you know, a lot of like trickeries and stuff like that. We're kind of just seeing kind of like what you said, just like pure, just, you know, patience. And I honestly think it's good for both teams as we see Bateman break the 1 guy.
Oh my god!
But you know, kind of like what you said, man. Like, you know, before you know it, the 4 quarters here, and if you're still tied up with like 5 minutes to go, you can't just really waste any more time, you know. So you got to go at some certain point.
Exactly.
1st and 10, ball almost at midfield here.
Wow,
as close as Zay Flowers with a great block, and he's gonna go all the way. As we were just talking about, is the touchdown. Very risky. That could have went the opposite direction if it was picked off, but Zay Flowers gets the ball and touchdown.
Hopkins with an elite block there.
And Von Miller, if he would have saw that.
Yeah, Miller also could have picked it off there. Oh my goodness, that could have gone so bad there. for RBM, and could have been so good for Max, but now
Thank
RBM
God it
up
wasn't.
7.
That could have been an easy 14-point swing. Oh man, and like you said, a great block by the veteran D Hop for the touchdown there. As we see Debo Samuel now taken away from the end zone. It's ball to the
Okay.
31, not bad field position. And now let's see how Max responds for the first time being down tonight.
Gonna be interesting. Let's see. Because now, second half, the pressure starts to build.
It does. Jay Daniels throws
Oh.
to Debo, and he
Oh,
doesn't get the ball off. And guess who broke it up? Roquan Smith.
another
Which
drop here.
honestly, I'm kind of surprised how Roquan, as good as he is, he's matching up against the wide receivers rather than the tight ends. But that's what he can do. Jay Daniels, he gets the ball off, but not to a receiver. 3rd and 10.
He like pump faked there.
Didn't like what he see.
But then he could not get some clean pass there. Damn. So it's a 3rd and 10.
Jay Daniels throws to the middle.
Oh wow.
To Debo again. This time he does catch it.
So good.
And Larlar, you can feel the intensity picking up already. You can already feel it. You can feel it from both teams. And now you can see a lot of these passes are getting thrown quick up the middle, to the side. You can feel the intensity get up. But now 1st and 10, ball basically at midfield. Debo with a sweep, and he gets tackled by Humphrey there.
Oh, what a tackle there. But man, a very interesting play there from Max. Don't really see that much often in this offense, but it worked out.
And we saw it with Zay Flowers earlier with the jet sweep, right? So both of these offenses, they can basically utilize it. Jay Daniels rolls to his right here. Can he get the first down? No, he doesn't. 3rd and 1. We're seeing a little bit of mix. We're seeing a little bit of adjustments we're seeing a little bit different plays from Max here, which is not surprising because when you're after one half of football, you kind of already know how your opponent's going to play. So make some adjustments as needed to see if you can get up on the board. As we see a great block for the O-lineman, Debo to the right with a 1st down and more. 1st and 10 in the red zone here, Commissioner.
Damn, the defender fell, but what a play from Max there to get Debo there and keep going. And now already knocking on the door at the 16.
Koski Merritt on the middle.
Oh boy.
And this Commanders offense has been up and down all season, right? When you got guys like Larry Tunsil in there, right? One of the best left tackles in the league. You can utilize that blind side to Jaden Daniels' advantage. But, sometimes the guard positions where it's kind of struggling a little bit. So, very impressive them holding up the Ravens defense. And with that, touchdown, Koski Merritt, and now Max responding with points on the board.
You see, that drive was very, very quick. And now it's 21-all once again.
I'll be right back really quickly.
Okay.
That's a kickoff, of course.
Okay. We will have a pause after the kickoff here.
Mm-hmm. But Larlar, Max had to go, right? When you're down, you kind of can't really wait much longer. So,
yeah. True.
All right.
Pause here.
Start back off on the 21. All right, and Larlar here, man. Now that we're back, a little bit of a break for both opponents is 1st and 10, ball to 21-yard line after that kickoff here. No tie game, Larlar. Let's see if there's any adjustments made, or let's see if the intensity is still going, because you felt that intensity pick up right before the little break there.
Yeah. Man, who knows? Maybe the break does something. We'll see.
Yeah, 1st and 10, ball to 21. Bobby Wagner doesn't get to Henry, but he does get tackled there. 2nd and 5. And we're halfway through the 3rd quarter. This game, even with the break, is still going by pretty quick. So I'm expecting at least a 4th quarter to be the longest quarter of the game. But you see here, as the Commanders are bringing pressure up front, and they do bring it. A QB counter by Lamar. 1st down and more. He can't fumble it, and he does get tackled there. 1st and 10. Another QB counter there, Larlar. I like it.
Hey, keeps us going, and honestly, Lamar securing the ball as well as he gets tackled. So Let's see now. 1st and 10 at 39. It's a toss to Derek.
Toss play to Henry. Great speed on the outside. And he gets tackled on the 42.
It's decent yardage there.
Stops the clock, though. Well, actually, no, it keeps it moving because he was tackled he was pushed inbounds to out of bounds.
Yeah.
2nd and 6. Safeties are playing very far back there. Linebackers go back in coverage. Von Miller can't get to him. And you see the speed there, Larlar, that Lamar Jackson has in order to get to the edge for the first down. First and 10. Got Patrick Ricard and fullback now in the I formation. Becoming a lead block,
Derrick
and Henry breaks one, but can't keep his feet up. 2nd and 2. Larlar, we're still seeing a pretty patient drive still. Like I said, no deep shots down the field. I think both teams are just wanting to play a little conservative, so that way, no turnovers is given.
Okay, 2nd and 2. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Play clock down to 7. Lamar gets the ball off. Rolls to his right, but he's getting pressured over Sanctuary there. And Hopkins get the ball.
Very scary.
Very scary, but Hopkins, being the veteran as he is, one of his traits is locating the ball and grabbing it down. Great play by Hopkins there. 1st and 10, almost in the red zone for RBM. Derrick Henry gets stopped.
It doesn't go anywhere that time.
Max is doing a really good job at stopping the run game in Henry because, we've seen a lot of times this Henry yards literally in the 1st quarter at times. Max is doing a really good job at stopping that. 2nd and 10, ball on the 29-yard line here. Lamar Jackson throws to Zay Flowers to the right. Zay Flowers does not get the juke there, but he does get the first down. And Zay Flowers is already over 100 yards receiving for today.
A big day here for Zay. And now, we're looking at another 1st and 10 at the 18. The clock continuing to roll here as we get closer and closer to the end of the 3rd. Derrick Henry can't go anywhere, only a gain of 1.
Still, Max is doing a really good job at stopping that run game. I think one of the great things about this Commanders defense is that front 4. You also got Bobby Wagner in the back. And think about next year, right? Obviously, with the Commanders, not really going to be in much play. But think about for the future. If Sony Styles is another guy, then, maybe in the future in the LMFL, Commanders might have a much better defense down the road in a couple years. But let's see.
Sony Styles.
Lamar Jackson gives it to Wester. Doesn't break the tackle there. 3rd and 2. And think about it also in the next couple of years, Larlar in the LMFL. Trey Hendrickson, right? If he becomes a guy and stays up on that team, Draven Stevens is also going to improve a lot. So expect some things in years to come when these two teams are back in play. But now, 3rd and 2. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Every possession matters here now.
Get to Andrews for the same play that he scored earlier, and he's going to do it times 2. Touchdown, Mark Andrews back in the lead. RBM here, Commissioner.
Now 28-21 with about 14 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Kicks it off to Debo. This is very returnable.
Yeah.
Debo saying going all the way to the left here.
Okay.
He does get to the 30, so decent return. Now you got 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Sometimes you want to try to get something off, like just go to the quarter end, and then boom, 4th quarter is there, and that's when the 4th quarter might be a different ball game. But look at the pressure that the Ravens are bringing. A lot of linebackers go back, including Van Noy. Jan Daniels jukes Van Noy and gets for the 1st and 10 with 4 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
And that should bring it down to the end. And there's one more quarter to go to determine who advances on to the next round.
And even though we've been seeing the intensity pick up, Larlar, we haven't seen any panic plays, We haven't seen any panic plays at all this game. And who knows? It could be the same thing for the fourth quarter, or the fourth quarter could be a completely different ball game. Gives it across Chimera to pistol formation. Humphrey tackles him from behind. 2nd and 4.
Second and 4.
And
again, this is where it's going to be huge, because fourth quarter is always a quick quarter. And 9.5 minutes to go. Man, going to go by quick as Bates gets the first.
And you know what's surprising me with both of these defenses? I'm not seeing a lot of linebacker spies. I think because of how good these linebackers are in Roquan and Bobby Wagner, you know, sometimes they got to be the hero for a lot of these tackles, because if they spy on the quarterback and they don't go nowhere, then you're basically just leaving the middle of the field wide open. So we'll see here. Jaden Daniels gives it to Zach Ertz. Wow, almost close and picked off.
Shit. So close there.
I can turn it away, but 1st and 10, ball to 33.
Could have been an issue.
Seeing some good patient plays by Max here. 1st and 10, ball to 33-yard line. But still, Larlar, the patience level is still there. Not really a lot of panic plays still.
Yeah, it's just so interesting too. But let's see. 1st and 10.
Jay Nails to his right.
Ooh.
The momentum carried Krosky Merritt down to out of bounds. And you know, with this being in a loser bracket, Larlar, you would think kind of like a little bit of, you know, like a bunch more emergency would be happening by now. But no, both teams are like, hey, we've been through this before. There's no reason to rush. Even with Max being down by a possession, the former champ is using that patience to his advantage. Jay Daniels rolls to his right again. He's getting blitzed. Throws it to McLaurin. 1st and 10, ball to 13. Here, Commissioner.
Big time.
That's why McLaurin is got paid the big bucks. 1st and 10. Almost in goal line territory here. James Daniels will pass up the middle.
Ooh.
Risky. But Debo does get it. 2nd and inches.
Debo.
And even with both teams going towards the end zone, you still see the middle of the field wide open. And they capitalize on that, as you see by Max there. 2nd and inches, ball to 3. He will pass it here. He's getting blitzed, but a screen pass to Merritt. And he gets it into the end zone. Touchdown. And a field goal will tie this game back up again, Commissioner.
Okay. It's now tied. And literally this game ended in a score of 29-28, where so, I mean, it could potentially be the changer here. But now RBM has 7 minutes.
Oh boy! And the fumble again! Oh no! And turnover on downs! And Max gets the ball! Oh, almost a replica of Tuesday night, Commissioner!
Oh my God, no way he fumbles on the kickoff again. This time Justice Hill fumbles it.
Yeah, that was the first time Justice Hill got the ball. And now Max has the opportunity to go up here. Larlar, it's literally, we said it time and time again, if a game is close, turnovers is what's going to kill the momentum. And just like that, we'll see if Max can score here, but let's see if RBM can stop.
That was literally the first turnover, too.
Of the game, and they have it in the first quarter. Oh, another risky play toward midfield. 3rd and 10.
Okay.
And, you know, and here's the thing, Larlar, in my opinion, right, and in my opinion, Larlar, if RBM does manage to stop Max to at least a field goal, I think that's a success, right? You don't let him be up by a possession. But let's see, Jaden Daniels rolls to his right. That's like what he sees. Up to Debo, and he does get it for the first down here.
He gets it.
Oh, man.
The clock
game's
is
not over.
You still run here, too. Oh,
right, you still got 6 minutes left. You still got 3 timeouts. Krosky Merritt up the middle. Jukes one, but doesn't get to the first down line. Second and inches, ball on the 7. And this is where Max can kind of just play, kind of like a little bit of time management clock here. You can run it down a little bit with a timeout. But there's still a lot of time on the clock if RBM does get the ball back. Roquan misses. First and goal now on the 1.
He could have blown him up, but Max read it all the way. It's first and goal at the 1. 5.5 to go. 5 minutes to go now. Oh, brother.
Just draining that clock.
Yeah.
Oh, almost offsides there by Roquan, but they get full. Oh. And Roquan does get the stop there. Second and goal.
That is crazy.
And Larlar, we've seen so many times this season of mistakes happen on the 1 yard line. So many times.
So many times, including myself.
More than what we really should be seeing.
Huge issue. But Crossy
Merritt for the touchdown.
Okay.
And now Max is back up on the board, but Larlar, 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes is still plenty of time for RBM to strike back.
35-28.
And that kickoff fumble just changes everything.
Again, man. RBM once again is the victim of a kickoff fumble. And he's going to have another attempt here. Oh, boy.
Now you see Wester. Now you see Wester's back there now. And gets lit up again. But you see Wester got in the lineup because Ali fumbled last game, and now Justice Hill with his first catch of the game just fumbles, man. It's hard to tell sometimes with these kickoffs. But now, 1st and 10, RBM still got plenty of time. He can still be patient if he wants to. Yes.
All 3 timeouts remaining for both.
Pass. Gets it to Hopkins for a first down and more.
Oh, okay.
You see the stat line, 4 touchdowns, 0 turnovers for Lamar. And if I'm RBM here, Larlar, wouldn't you think you kind of also want to run down the clock? So that way, if you do score, you don't want Max to get too much time back.
That is true, but it also kind of depends. But Derrick Henry is going to go for 9. Because, let's say you score, it could give enough time for Max. He has 3 timeouts too.
And there is strategies, right, where sometimes you're in the end zone, sometimes you want to let the opponent score, so that way you get some time back.
Exactly.
But we'll see how that happens if he does get to the end zone. He's to Derrick Henry, but he is stopped. Henry
does not go anywhere that time.
So by Reigns, the corner, the slot corner with the blitz. 3rd and 2, ball to 41. RBM is in Max territory, but now Larlar, look at the clock. Now you're below 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This is where you want to utilize your time, but you don't want to rush too much, but you got to go as Lamar does go to the right. For first down.
He will stop the clock here, so 2.5
That's
now.
big.
Yeah.
1st and 10.
1st and 10.
See the pressure that Max is putting on there. Does give it to Henry. Great blocks by Andrews, but he gets blocked by his own receiver and Zay Flowers. 2nd and 5. And the clock is going to continue to run down. Will RBM get the snap off before the 2-minute warning? He does. Toss to the left. Has a lead block. But a lot of the tackles miss a lot of the sides. Larlar, now we're down to 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go. 3 timeouts remain. You don't want to screw anything up.
No, you don't. Lamar throws in double coverage to Andrews. He breaks 1 tackle. Bobby Wagner can't get him down to the fumble. Louisville gets it. And that will probably do it. No, actually, no, let me take that back. Let me take that back. RBM still does have 3 timeouts of 1:50 left. So now this becomes the game of time management. But boy, what a costly turnover, Commissioner.
Another fumble. And it was Mark Andrews.
Oh, no. Reminiscing reminiscence of the NFC.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh, Roquan misses the guy, but Hamilton locks him up there. Timeout called. Very quick timeout. 2nd and 8. Almost reminiscent of the NFC Championship game.
Oh man.
Oh man.
One of the biggest blunders once again coming from Mark Andrews in the playoffs.
Oh God, man. Jaden Daniels will pass here. He's gotta be quick. He does give it to Bates.
Oh.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1.
If RBM gets a stop, that's huge. Right? That's huge. But now the problem is he's got to drain these timeouts here.
3rd and 1.
This is where Max can kind of utilize that advantage. Gets it across the forward. Wow, he doesn't get it. He juked into the guy.
Wait.
Now it's 4th and 1. Oh.
Is Max gonna go for it? He's gonna go for it. Oh, this is
odd. But here's the thing: if he gets it, the game's over.
Yeah,
so he's going big or going home.
Over. Yep.
Let's see what he does. This might be the game. He's gonna pass it. He's gonna run, and he gets it to Debo, and that will probably do it. That will do it. And oh man, Commissioner,
good game.
With that play call, what now the former champ can do is kneel it. And Larlar, we said it all game. Turnover is what's gonna make this game done. Your final score: Max 35, RBN 28. Larlar, we had another classic 2 in 1 week.
Unbelievable. The champ once again moves on in the lower bracket, and now Andrew will have a chance against Max once again. Woo. Oh man, my goodness. Unfortunately, RBM season will end tonight as the #1 seed.
And Larlar, both teams played well, man. We saw it coming. The 4th quarter was when the intensity was going to pick up, and it sure did. Just when everything was going the Ravens' way, just one mistake just cost it.